In a world consumed by distractions and material desires, what happens when a person steps away from the noise and embraces a path of true peace? Imagine the profound shift when one turns to Islam not just as a religion, but as a complete transformation of the self. This is the awakening that challenges every preconceived notion of success, happiness, and fulfillment. The world you thought you knew begins to unravel, and in its place, something far more powerful emerges. This is the shocking reality of a life after accepting Islam, where true peace and purpose redefine everything. Listen closely and prepare for the change you never saw coming. Seekers of stillness in a world that seldom ceases its clamor. Come, let us draw our awareness into this present moment, for within the folds of our shared human experience lie journeys so profound, so utterly transformative, that they reshape the very landscape of our inner and outer worlds, compelling us to see everything anew, as if for the very first time. Many walk familiar paths, comfortable in the known, but some are called to step onto a trail less trodden, a way that promises not just different scenery, but a different self. Stop, just for this breath. Have you ever felt a deep, resonant call towards something more? A yearning for a truth that not only answers the questions of the mind, but also soothes the deepest aches of the heart and spirit? What if I told you that for some, the conscious choice to embrace a path of sincere submission, such as that found in the heart of Islam, unleashes a cascade of perceptions, of realizations so potent, so fundamentally life-altering, that the world they once knew becomes, in many ways, shockingly different, illuminated with a clarity and purpose previously unimaginable? Today, we will gently unveil some of these profound shifts, and the final understanding, the ultimate shock of divine proximity that we will explore at the very end. That is a revelation of such intimate beauty, it can redefine the very essence of your being. You will not want to miss the quiet unfolding of that profound truth. So I invite you, with an open heart, to journey with me. Before we delve into these transformative perceptions, let us approach this understanding with a spirit of gentleness and respect. This is not about comparing paths or asserting one way as superior, for the divine light shines through many windows. Rather, it is an exploration into the deeply personal, yet often universally resonant, inner experiences that can unfold when an individual consciously chooses to walk the path of Islam, a path whose very name speaks of peace and submission to the one, indivisible source of all existence. The shock we speak of is rarely one of fright. More often, it is the shock of profound recognition, of clarity dawning where there was once fog, of peace settling where there was once turmoil. It is the quiet awe of seeing the intricate, loving design in a world that may have previously appeared chaotic. This journey of inner discovery is what we shall now gently explore. The first profound shift, one that often comes as a gentle yet deeply felt shock to the system, is the discovery of an unshakable inner stillness and a profound sense of purposeful direction amidst the often chaotic currents of worldly existence. Many individuals, before consciously embracing such a path, may find themselves adrift in a sea of fleeting desires, societal pressures, and an underlying anxiety about life's meaning. Their days might be filled with activity, with striving, yet an inner restlessness may persist, like a faint, dissonant hum beneath the surface. The world in this state can often feel like a relentless series of demands, a confusing maze with no clear center. Then comes the embrace of Islam. With it comes the beautiful, rhythmic discipline of the 5 daily prayers Salah. Imagine consciously stepping away from worldly concerns 5 times a day, to stand in quiet communion, to bow in humility, to prostrate in sincere submission before the Source. This is not merely a physical ritual, it is a profound act of recentering. The shock here is often the dawning realization of just how much mental clutter, how much unanchored anxiety one had previously accepted as normal. In the disciplined stillness of prayer, the mind begins to find calm, a point of profound focus. There is a sudden awareness of an inner sanctuary, a space of peace previously obscured by the ego's chatter and external distractions. This newfound inner stillness is not an escape from life, but a profound grounding within life. It provides a stable platform from which to navigate ups and downs with greater equanimity. And intertwined with this inner peace comes a clarifying sense of purpose. The Islamic worldview provides a coherent framework for understanding one's place in the universe, one's responsibilities, and one's ultimate destination. Life ceases to be a series of random events. Instead, every action can be imbued with meaning, seen as an opportunity for spiritual growth, for earning divine pleasure. The shock is the realization that true purpose is not sought in external achievements, but lived from within, guided by divine principles. This clarity, this peace born of submission, can make the previous restless searching feel, in retrospect, like a shockingly unmoored existence. Flowing naturally from this profound anchoring in inner peace and purpose, another shockingly beautiful realization often dawns: the discovery of a true, global, and profoundly interconnected community, the Ummah that transcends superficial worldly affiliations. In a world that frequently emphasizes individualism and can foster isolation, the experience of belonging to this vast, diverse, yet spiritually united family can be revelatory. Imagine stepping into a mosque, perhaps in a land far from your birth, among people whose language and culture may be different. Yet, as you stand shoulder to shoulder in prayer, bowing and prostrating in unison, facing the same Qibla, reciting the same sacred words, an unspoken, palpable bond of brotherhood and sisterhood envelops you. The shock here is the sudden, visceral understanding that perceived outer differences of race, nationality, social status simply melt away in the shared identity of being a servant of the one God. There is an immediate sense of kinship, of belonging, of being welcomed into a family that spans the globe, united not by bloodlines, but by shared faith and devotion. The traditional Islamic greeting, as Salamu Alaikum, peace be upon you, is an active invocation of peace and goodwill, exchanged between individuals who recognize each other as part of this sacred bond. This sense of community extends far beyond the mosque, manifesting in acts of mutual support, shared joys and sorrows, and collective responsibility for the needy. The shock can be realizing how deeply ingrained these principles of mutual care are within true Islamic practice, a contrast to a more individualistic ethos. This is a taste of what it means to be part of a truly global spiritual family. We have now touched upon the profound inner peace and purpose that can dawn, and the shockingly beautiful discovery of a true, global community. These are transformative experiences that reshape one's inner landscape and sense of belonging. But the journey of submission often extends further, prompting a radical re-evaluation of what holds true value, what constitutes genuine success, and how one relates to the material world itself. The next shift we will explore delves into this profound recalibration of priorities, a shock that can liberate the soul from many of the anxieties that plague the modern world. This understanding can fundamentally alter your relationship with your possessions, your ambitions, and your very definition of a life well lived. Stay with me as we uncover how this path can lead to a wealth far greater than any earthly treasure. The third profound shift, a shock that often gently but insistently dismantles old paradigms, is the radical re-evaluation of materialism, worldly success, and the very definition of a good life. In many societies, immense pressure is placed upon individuals to accumulate material wealth, achieve high social status, and measure their worth by these external markers. Life can become a perpetual race, a striving for more, often fueled by a fear of inadequacy. Upon sincerely embracing Islam and internalizing its core teachings, a different perspective emerges, one that can be shockingly liberating. The Quran and prophetic traditions consistently emphasize the transient nature of this worldly life, dunya, compared to the eternal hereafter, akhirah. This world is described not as the ultimate destination, but as a temporary abode, a testing ground. This understanding does not advocate for abandoning the world or embracing poverty. Islam encourages seeking lawful sustenance and working diligently. However, it fundamentally reframes the purpose of these worldly pursuits. They become means to worship God, support one's family, help others, and cultivate good deeds. The shock can be realizing how much emotional energy and time may have previously been invested in chasing fleeting things. The pursuit of spiritual knowledge, strengthening one's relationship with God, cultivating good character, and acts of kindness begin to take precedence over mere material accumulation. This leads to the cultivation of two profoundly liberating qualities, contentment kana and gratitude shaka. Contentment is inner peace from accepting God's decree while lawfully striving. It is freedom from the insatiable hunger for more. Gratitude is active recognition for all blessings. The shock can be realizing how much one already possesses when the lens shifts from lacking to presence. This practice transforms life, infusing it with joy and abundance, regardless of material circumstances. As the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "Richness is not in the abundance of worldly goods, but richness is the richness of the soul." This truth, deeply embodied, is shockingly liberating, freeing one from consumerism's chains and materialistic anxieties, allowing for a life of greater simplicity, purpose, and inner peace. Following this profound re-evaluation of worldly values, another transformative shock often occurs: the unveiling of a breathtaking divine order, an intricate harmony, and a profound inherent meaning woven into the very fabric of existence. Before this path, one might have perceived the world through a lens of randomness or vague deism. The universe might have seemed vast yet ultimately indifferent. Upon sincerely engaging with Islamic teachings, particularly the Quran, and cultivating mindful reflection, tafakkur on God's signs, ayat in the universe and within oneself, a dramatically different picture emerges. The shock is often one of profound awe, a rekindled childlike wonder as layers of perceived chaos peel away, revealing an astonishing, meticulous, and lovingly crafted order. The rhythmic cycles of sun and moon, the balance of ecosystems, the intricate design of a snowflake, the miraculous human development, the laws of physics all begin to be seen not as chance, but as clear manifestations of a single, all-knowing, all-powerful, and infinitely merciful Creator. The Quran repeatedly invites humanity to ponder these signs. This perception is deepened by understanding Tawhid, the absolute oneness of God Allah. Tawhid is a unifying principle bringing coherence to all life. When truly grasped, the world becomes a symphony of interconnected signs pointing back to the One. There is no conflict between genuine science and true faith. Both originate from the same divine source. The shock can be realizing how beautifully Islam integrates reason and revelation. The natural world becomes a sacred trust amana, a testament to God's majesty, to be treated with respect and gratitude. This imbues everyday life with wonder, replacing anxiety with trust, confusion with clarity, and cosmic loneliness with a deep feeling of connection to a benevolent, all-encompassing divine presence. We have journeyed through the inner peace from submission, the warmth of true community, liberation from materialism, and awe at divine order. These are shocking transformations. However, this journey does not always unfold in a vacuum. The outer world, with diverse beliefs and sometimes misunderstandings, will interact with this newfound state. What happens when inner clarity meets external skepticism? The next shock is different, calling for patience, wisdom, and reliance on inner strength. This is crucial for navigating with grace, especially when your inner world transforms in ways the outer world may not grasp. Stay with me as we explore this dynamic, for it is often in navigating these ripples that one's conviction is tested and solidified. The fifth distinct experience, which can indeed come as a shock after embracing Islam, especially in societies where it's not predominant or misconceptions are rife, is encountering external misunderstandings, stereotypes, and sometimes prejudice. While the individual may experience profound inner peace and clarity, the outer world's perception of their transformation and of Islam itself can be starkly different. This dissonance between positive internal experience and often negative external reactions can be a jarring aspect of the journey. Before Islam, one might have moved through society with an unremarkable religious identity. After declaring faith, especially with visible changes like modest dress or prayer, one's identity can become a focal point for others' assumptions. The shock here is not about Islam, but the surprising realization of misinformation surrounding this peaceful way of life. One might encounter ignorant questions based on media portrayals or hostile comments rooted in Islamophobia. Friends or family might express concern or disapproval, fearing their loved one has embraced something foreign, or extreme perceptions often born from a lack of genuine knowledge. This can be poignant because the convert, overflowing with the beauty found in Islam, wishes to share this positivity only to be met with suspicion. It can be tiring to constantly explain, defend, or clarify one's faith, especially when choices stem from sincere conviction. However, this challenge also serves as a powerful catalyst for growth. It compels deeper knowledge of Islam to articulate its truths with wisdom hikmah. It cultivates patience, sabr, resilience, and deeper reliance on God. It teaches focusing on one's sincerity and conduct, recognizing one cannot control others' perceptions, but can strive to embody Islam's beautiful teachings through character and integrity. Often consistent, positive personal example softens hearts and dispels misconceptions. This period can also forge stronger bonds within the Muslim community, offering invaluable support. The shock of encountering misunderstanding, while initially unsettling, can ultimately strengthen faith, refine character, and deepen appreciation for the supportive Ummah. It becomes a testament that what is truly valuable is often tested, and through tests, its worth shines brighter. And now, my dear friends, we arrive at the culmination of our shared reflection, the sixth and final shock, which is, in many ways, the most profound, the most intimate, and the most life-altering revelation that can dawn upon the soul that sincerely embraces Islam. It is the insight I promised would hold the deepest beauty. We have journeyed through inner peace, global community, liberation from materialism, perception of divine order, and navigating external misconceptions. Each is a significant milestone. But the ultimate shock, permeating all others, is the palpable, undeniable, and breathtakingly intimate realization of the profound proximity of the divine, the constant, loving presence of God Allah in every single moment, in every breath, and the transformative power of this direct, personal relationship. Before this path, God might have seemed a distant concept. The shock of Islam, in its deepest sense, is the dissolution of this perceived distance. It is the dawning awareness, growing through sincere devotion, that God is not merely out there, but, as the Quran states, closer to him or her than their jugular vein. Quran 50:16. This becomes a lived reality. In prayer, in quiet reflection, in the heart's sincere turning to its Creator, there can be an overwhelming sense of being known, heard, seen, loved, and guided by an all-encompassing mercy and wisdom. This realization transforms worship ibadah. Daily prayers, fasting, charity, remembrance of God cease to be mere obligations. They become cherished opportunities for communion, for drawing closer to the divine beloved. Each act of worship nourishes the soul, polishes the heart, strengthens that intimate connection. The shock is discovering the profound sweetness, solace, and strength flowing from these acts of devotion. These practices are not burdens, but immense gifts for spiritual upliftment and purification. Tazkiyah. The journey of striving for excellence in conduct, Aishan, to worship God as if you see him, and though you do not see him, to know that he sees you becomes life's guiding principle, infusing every action with beauty, sincerity, and divine awareness. Ultimately, the most shocking and beautiful truth Islam can unveil is that this profound peace, purpose, community, liberation, order, and intimate relationship with the Creator was always available, an inherent potential encoded within the very fitra, the natural, primordial state of every human soul. The shock is the humbling realization that the path to this fulfillment is submission to this innate truth, a return to original purity and devotion, guided by divine revelation. It is becoming the most authentic, spiritually realized version of the self God intended. This profound personal transformation, this intimate dance with the divine, is the ultimate shock, a continuous unfolding of awe, gratitude, and love. If these reflections on the transformative journey of embracing Islam have touched a chord within your heart, if they have sparked curiosity, offered solace, or perhaps brought a measure of understanding to a path that may have seemed unfamiliar, I invite you to carry these thoughts with gentleness and an open mind. The true depth of any spiritual path can only be fully appreciated through sincere seeking and personal experience. And if you feel that this sharing might illuminate the way for another soul who is perhaps searching, or offer a bridge of understanding to those who wish to learn more, please consider passing these words along. The light of understanding grows brighter when it is shared. For more explorations into the quiet wisdom that guides our hearts and shapes our lives, you are always welcome to continue this journey with us here. Consider subscribing, that we may continue to learn and grow together in our shared quest for truth, peace, and profound connection. Thank you from the depths of my spirit for your precious time, for your attentive presence. May your own path, whatever it may be filled with light, with peace, and with the ever-unfolding discovery of profound, transformative truth.